Hey guys, what's going on and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play the JUND Sacrifice Coco version in Historic to get a really high win rate in Ranked. This is probably the deck which I'd recommend to play the most at the moment. It's probably the only tier 1 deck in Historic right now because Claim the Firstborn decks are just super strong against this kind of creature meta which is developing. Especially with decks such as mono green elves, green white life gain angels type lists and the rest of it. Now I can see this JUND Sacrifice list changing a little bit throughout this season, changing from that of being with, only 2 Gilded Goose to maybe more copies of it, maybe more copies of Midnight Reaper, depending on how much control you're playing. But overall, this is probably the best deck in general to play currently. Now, I know I have posted a lot of JUND Sacrifice vids on this channel. I have posted quite a few, which is why I've satirically named my deck Sacrifice vid number 1326. I have done a lot of them. I've kind of spent my whole of 2020 playing JUND Sacrifice. I played it in the Red Bull Untapped World Finals. I played it in the Cauldron Pro Tour Championship, whatever the name for that is, and I played it a lot, and I think I got pretty good with it. So I think I am one of the best people to show you guys how to play this deck. Now please could you leave a like on the video, it means a massive amount to me, helps with the YouTube algorithm to help it get pushed out to more people. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into playing this deck. Into our first game we go then. We're on the play, so this should work really well, and an absolutely outstanding hand for us. So here's interesting, one of the interesting decisions that you guys will have to make when playing JUND Sacrifice is whether to play out your Witch's Oven or play out your Cauldron Familiar. Now in this situation here, I'm going to play out my Witch's Oven. And that is just so I can sacrifice Dreadhorde Butcher if they play a card such as Priest. And I want to utilise that as best as possible. Because Priest is one of the cards which we don't want to be seeing. And the reason why I thought that we would be against a Sacrifice deck here is because he has this Jegantha. Now there are very few decks at the moment which run Jegantha as their companion, and the main one at the moment in the meta is Jegantha, because as I said earlier, this JUND Sacrifice list is one of the few tier 1 decks that we have. Okay. So this is a really good start for us. I decided to not play Dreadhorde Butcher because it's just very bad in this matchup. Dreadhorde Butcher in a Sacrifice Mirror is one of the cards which you want to be sideboarding out, because as you can see here, he just plays a 1-1 and he can't do anything with it. It's very poor. So what I will do is I'll leave this untapped. Alright. So play Stomping Ground tapped. Claim the Firstborn is probably one of the most important cards in this matchup. So the one thing you don't want to be doing is wasting it on cards such as Dreadhorde Butcher. You want to be using it on their devils, their priests, maybe Woe Striders. But yeah, definitely do not waste Claim the Firstborn getting rid of, say, a Cauldron Familiar or a Dreadhorde Butcher, unless it is going to ensure the win. So here, the reason I swung in with this Dreadhorde Butcher is it's basically a board wipe for them, leaving us with this cat and 2 ovens setup. So we'll have to see what he decides to play now. Okay, so 3, so what's he? Alright, Mayhem Devil. So in response, we do our triggers, because the one thing that the most common mistake, I should say, that people do when using Sacrifice decks, which some of you guys wouldn't believe me when I say this, is that they don't sacrifice and do all of their triggers in response to Mayhem Devil, which I think is absolutely crazy, because that's a lot of damage which they take for no reason. Now next turn we are going to win the game. So that is very good for us. So if we sacrifice like this, and let's sacrifice like so, then they take 10 damage. Then what we do is we go to combat, swing for everything. Then because this is has 3 power, we can sacrifice this, dealing 3 damage with the additional 1 from Mayhem Devil, and we'll get exact lethal. And so that is exactly why we don't waste our Claim the Firstborns on those earlier drops which they play. Okay, so in the mirror, Clothis is really good, Corvold really good. You can make an argument for a Braid, so I will add it in. You don't want to be adding in Reclamation Sage, no matter what you do. Because it's very tempting to add Reclamation Sage in to get rid of the ovens, being a pivotal part of a deck. However, it's just too slow. There's better 3-drops that you want to play. Now, a Braid I would only play 1 of, really. I would take all 4 copies of Dreadhorde Butcher. Like I said, I really don't like them, and I like them even less when you're on the draw. So let's run it back like this. And the main reason I like to add Corvold in these decks is because all of your cards, can be stolen by Claim the Firstborn, apart from Corvold. So to get Corvold down means he won't be able to steal it, swing in with it. Now, in the past, I've added cards such as Act of Treason into my sideboard, and even sometimes the main deck, as it can be a great counter to someone who's playing Corvold. So, it's countering a counter. So they play Corvold to kind of counter Claim the Firstborn and the effectiveness of that. And then I have Act of Treason to play against that. And also, as Act of Treason is a yoink effect, it is just as good as Claim, except it is 3 mana, of course. So you obviously get less, a lower estimated value from it. But yeah, so I'm thinking of doing more videos on JUND Sacrifice. If you've got any other videos that you would like to see me play, just drop them in the comments. I haven't posted for about 7-8 days because I haven't really found anything that I want to showcase on this channel. Okay, this is a really, really nice hand here. So it's difficult as to what we're going to do. So we're definitely playing Overgrown Tomb untapped. Now, what do we play? I say we play Cauldron Familiar. It blocks very well against the Dreadhorde Butcher. This guy doesn't seem to be the best sacrifice player, I have to say. So I doubt he's taken them out. Okay, he plays Priest, which is fair enough. Oh, we could do a really nice play here, but do we? Do we have it? So the play I'm thinking of here is stealing their Priest with Claim, playing a cat, sacrificing it, and then targeting ourselves as well, so that we sacrifice their Priest. But is that just a little bit of overkill? Do we? Because we could just play out our own Priest here. What I will do is I'll go for a safer strategy. I'll lead with Oven, which means that when we play our Priest, it's protected at the very least. We're hoping he plays something like Mayhem Devil. That would be a really nice card for him to play. Just kind of something that doesn't activate Priest. Because the way I play this JUND Sacrifice list is Priest is the pivotal part of the deck. Okay, so he plays Woe Strider, which is a really nice card for the situation because it protects his Priest. Alright. So, interesting turn here. We could steal something. He would sacrifice in response. So do we want him activating Priest? He would just get rid of it for a sacrifice. Could be a good way of... Our Claim, we kind of want to save for Devil. I'll just play Priest out. He might have a Claim of his own, which he might try and steal our card. But I think that's, I would be fine with that. So we're stuck on 2 lands, but it's something we've kind of got to try and play around. Next turn, we Might be able to get ourselves a Collected Company off with a priest trigger, which would be nice, or we could just play out Devil. We've got a very strong hand here. If there's only 2 lands, so we do need to hit lands to be able to play. But from where we are at the moment, we're in a very strong position, even if the opponent's board state at the moment does look really good. As you might have noticed, I've got my my usual coffee here. Help get me through the games. Alright, Collected Company. Alright, he did not hit a Devil. Okay. Is he going to activate his priest? If he activates his priest, we just get rid of a cat. No problems. So he draws a card. Plays out another Cauldron Familiar. No problems. Does he play Oven? Okay, he doesn't. Very interesting. He can swing with it if he wants. I'm just going to bring a cat back. So this does look very winning for him at the moment. And it is. But he needs to draw a... well, we just need to draw a land. And then we're kind of back in the game here. Okay. We did not draw a land. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play Gilded Goose, bring back both cats, and then I will sacrifice both of them to Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Yeah, we're in the strongest position here, because, well, we're not, but we have a lot of potential that we can see in our hand. This guy doesn't have an Oven yet, which is quite key to how we're playing this, because it means that we've got cat Oven triggers, and he doesn't. So he gets rid of a cat. Easy as you like. Okay. So we can either play Woe Strider here or Mayhem Devil. Now I'm going to play Mayhem Devil. It's quite likely that this guy has a Claim the Firstborn. But that's one of the things we'll have to deal with. Eventually we will draw ourselves, and the thing is, we're in such a strong position if he doesn't have a claim. It's quite likely he does have one though, but Midnight Reaper, he didn't tap a red, which would lead me to believe that he's got a Gilded Goose. Okay. I mean, if he sacrifices with Priest, we're in a really good position here. Because we can do a lot more damage to him than he can to us. We'll have to go to damage here because we can't tap our Oven, because if he plays red land, then claim, we're in such a bad position. Okay. I'm playing it like this because I think that we have lethal next turn. And I want to steal his Midnight Reaper. Okay, let's see what this guy does. Maybe he plays Woe Strider. Okay, he plays Priest. Now we can play around that. Plays Priest and Cat. Okay, can we play around both of those? I think we can. Now, do we need to have a Priest next turn? Yes. Yes, I think we do. Okay. So, first off, we take Midnight Reaper. Okay. Interesting. Does Blooming Marsh come in? Alright, so that guy loses. I think we did have lethal. We just had to kind of try and work our way through it there. We were definitely ahead for the majority of that game. It didn't look like it from board state, but from what we could see from our hand, we were definitely ahead. So yeah, let's get into our next game. Here we go into our second game then. We're playing against big old Carl. What a username. And yeah, let's see how we go. Okay, one land in our opening hand we don't quite want. Now, this is a really good hand here. Our bottom of the pathway is just not as good as these other three dual lands. Okay, being able to lead with Alfred is really nice. The reason I played Overgrown Tomb there is just so we've got a green source into an untapped double blue. So, mono blue flash. So he might have a counter for this. Probably does, deciding whether he wants to counter it. So this is going to be a battle, this game. I quite like playing against these mono blue decks. We'll play Woe Strider out here. I prefer this to be countered than our priest, because I still think this guy's got a counter. Okay, he doesn't counter it. So maybe he's got... Okay. Oh, so he's playing spirits. Okay. I can play around this. Supreme Phantom. Okay. So we can double spell next turn. Or do we just go... Does he have a counter spell for our Collected Company? Let's play Priest. Oh, he resolves it. Okay, I'm going to play that in untapped, sorry, because I really want to resolve this. Might be he has another Rattle Chains or something. Yeah. Okay, that kind of sucks, but hopefully next turn we can. So we get put down to 4 here. Difficult position, very difficult position. What's he gonna do? Why did he put a Spectral Sailor? Tap 2 untapped. Okay. And what is he gonna tap? Both to... Okay. Well, in response, I'm going to play Collected Company to try and get some cards like these. Okay. So this is going to help us to get rid of this guy's whole board. Alright, perfect, 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 perfect. When he sacrifices this, we've got an extra 1 damage. Okay. Now, sacrificing our priest there is a debatable one. But I think we've got to do it. well, we can't play our goose here, unfortunately, but I do think that turn went really well for us. So I'm sorry if I didn't talk much through that, but that's kind of how I would play that turn. Try and play out Gilded Goose. Alright, well, we just win in this position here. There's nothing he can play to disrupt our game so much. There we go, and we see his head explode. That's why I quite like playing this deck against mono blue lists. As soon as they're tapped out, they're done for. And Priest is such a massive card against them. We'll play this as a good creature in the air. Block all of their flyers. I feel he's going to bring in a counter for Collected Company, so I'll drop down on one for that. Dreadhorde Butcher is going to be really good. Woe Strider. See, all of the cards in this deck are just really good that you just don't want to cut any. We're on a draw, so I'll take out a swamp. In most decks, it's generally regarded as don't take out lands, whatever. However, in this deck, you can kind of maneuver around it. So if you are on the draw, it is okay to take out the swamp. Alright, perfect. Ascendant's Spirit. Let's play out a Witch's Oven. Dreadhorde Butcher is really nice here because if he blocks with anything, we can kill 2 creatures with 1 stone. You can pay the mana to make Ascendant Spirit a 2-for if he wants to. I will just take it with Claim the Firstborn, but he can't do it. See, this is tough because do I take this? He might just make it a 4/4 next turn, which we could capitalise from. So I am just going to swing in with Dreadhorde Butcher. Alright. Tap target creature an opponent controls. Let's play it like this. We're cutting it fine. He's got quite a bit of life. The good thing is we can gain life, so he swings for 6 in the air. Okay, there's a few things we could do here. We could play it greedily. I guess if he's got a dive down, then that play was worse, but I don't think he does, so swing for 3. Okay, so we'll sacrifice this to Witch's Oven. It gives us 2 food that we can sacrifice. Okay. All right, lovely stuff. We should be on track for a win next term. Attackers, swings for both, going to sacrifice a food, gain 3 life, hopefully he doesn't have a tail's end. Some damage, we go to 3. Once again, it's still not a problem. He has to do something next turn, or else I've got lethal on board. Okay, he's got a Shacklegeist. Sacrifice this, have a look. Okay. There we go. So we win that game 2-0, and I think I've played 6 games with this deck so far, and I think I'm 6-0 total. And that's just how powerful this deck is. If you come up against a creature deck, you win. And hopefully I'll keep producing more videos on this, which will start to help you guys figure out how to play mirrors, because I feel like with all my practice I've done, I've gotten quite good at it. I know what to sideboard and how to play the turns. But yeah, thanks ever so much for watching the video. Once again, if you've enjoyed this video, please could you give it a like. I put quite a lot of time into playing the games, editing it, and all of that stuff. So if you could just put a like, not much effort, be amazing. But with that being said, have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back with another one soon.